This week, plenty of one-star bumps. The NFL steals the week, a one-star apology, NBA futures, and SWTs. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the episode.
SWTs, let's go.
Yo, aloha. Welcome to the One Star Recruits podcast, checking in at 184. I'm back in an office full of stuff. I thought I had no stuff, Rip. All of a sudden, bam! Sitting back in an office full of stuff around me. Shoes that I thought were gone. Baby stuff, all of a sudden, filled with baby stuff. You know what, Rip? As a certified father and creator of two babies, yourself, a creator, let's do a quick Mary F. Kill. What if we should do a Mary F. Kill to get this episode going as I'm looking right at this stuff here? As listeners know, I had a fire and a lot of my stuff was gone. So now, as I'm back in the land of plenty, the Americas, the land of consumption, here we go. But I know I need kid stuff, so it's all good. But Mary F. Kill, the following: Aduna car seat and stroller combo. Car seat and stroller combo. AI enabled bassinet, Rip, also known as like a snoo or a cradle wise, a good, like a bassinet, good one. Looks like a good one. And then a good old fashioned, put it together yourself from IKEA, still in the box. It's a thin box, which is terrifying when it's a large, thin box. Jailhouse crib. Okay. Mary F. Kill, go ahead.
All right, this one's obvious because to me, it's how long you're going to use each of these things. Number one, you're going to marry the car seat stroller combo because there's nothing better than when the kid falls asleep in the car seat and you're able to just pull that thing out and transfer him to a stroller. It's one of the keys to the first few years of parenting. They say never wake a sleeping baby. That thing is one of the keys to doing that, to not being able to wake a sleeping baby. So that's Mary. You're going to use that thing probably for the next 5 years if it's a good one.
Good. It looks nice. That's good.
You're going to F the crib because you're using that the second longest. Your kid's going to be in a crib for at least a couple years. So you're going to get the most use out of that every night once they get out of the bassinet. So F that one. The bassinet, I mean, some people use it for a few months. Some people, the baby's sleeping in the bed with you. I don't know what your approach is going to be, but you're not going to use that bassinet for more than 3 months. Kill it. Get it out of there soon. Get it in the garage.
Pop that thing off. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. The technology has changed since your kids were babies. I mean, we got 10 years of technology. Apparently, this bad boy fully recognizes the child's fussiness, moving around, learns its movements, and actually will bump it at the rate that the baby likes because it learns over time back to sleep. Rip. Okay.
Does it hold 180 pounds? You might need to get in that thing and take it for a spin. It sounds comfortable.
The technology's changed. I mean, this same technology will probably be applied to beds eventually for humans to find that exact. Remember water beds, and everybody's got their style and flow. You can maybe create that in the future of letting your body get read by AI, then it adjusts the hardness, the softness, whatever. Introducing that early with the youngster. We'll see. They're all here, so I'm keeping all of them. They're all going to get married for your boy giving it a go. Thank you, family and friends, for these gifts. But I thought that was pretty good, Rip. That's good advice. I might continue with some unsolicited parenting advice as it hits my head this episode. We have no guest, so shit, might as well let it go. While I'm here, actually, here we go. This is a Rip elderly. I have questions for you. I have a bunch of shoe boxes. I'm staring at a bunch of shoe boxes. So listeners, once again, lost my stuff in a fire. Don't know if I told you that. Don't know if I've ever mentioned that before. I thought that my best kicks were gone forever. I never put it together that I thought they were in the rafters, like I say. I never put it together that I did take some of my sneaker collection and put them in my mother's storage unit down in Tucson, Arizona. So kind of out of nowhere now, I got a dozen. She sent these back to me here. She just mailed them back. And now I got about a dozen boxes here. It's kind of like a time capsule for me, and I'm of heat. Really, they're good shoes. I got Jordan 11, Gamma Blues right here. I got some Concords, Grape 5s, Fire Red 5s, some Tuxedo 10s. The works. A lot of good shoes in here. So here's the deal. I'm hyped to have them back, but since because I thought they were gone, so I'm just like hyped to have them back. The twist is like I'm 43. Every time I look at these shoes, which are now expensive shoes, too, Rip. That's the other thing. I start wondering when is the right time to wear them without looking like I'm trying too hard. And I mean, I've put them on a couple times here and gotten compliments each time. So but I still feel more comfortable in my Vans or my Hokas when I'm out in public. So the question is, do I rock my kicks and do I just kind of like drown out the attention, or do I keep it low key and stick with my comfy shoes? Because I like them both, but I feel like I just like my regular don't look at my shoes a little bit better. Is there an age limit on sneaker flexing at this stage?
I think while you're still in your 40s, you're good. I mean, any given day you go out to a restaurant or a mall and you see guys in their 40s, mid, late 40s wearing Nike Dunks and all this other stuff. I think it's okay. It's what society has become. But I think for you, like wearing the Hokas and the Vans, I'd probably do like 80% of the time. But then those other 20% of the times when you're just like either feeling yourself or you want a compliment, like you want some positive vibes going into your brain. I think you wear those out no matter go play tennis in them, go rock them playing basketball, go walk on a dog walk and get those compliments. You need validation every once in a while.
Yeah, shit. I got him at the doctor's appointment in the waiting room. Real quick one. Then it got uncomfortable after. Yeah, yep. Thanks, man. Yep, those are 11s. Oh, yep, cool. Nowhere to go after that. No sneaker talk in my vocabulary. It's good advice though. But I'm back to having stuff, which is chill. I love having podcast guests, Rip, more than stuff. But I love more than anything one star bumps of former podcast guests. We had a lot of them last week. Big one star bump and hug to our guy Jesse Savannah Bananas. Sold out game at Clemson. In fact, this is a one star collab bump to Jesse and to AD Graham Neff, two wonderful supporters of the podcast and one star. So congratulations to Clemson and the Savannah Bananas. Rip, did you even put that together?
No, that's a shock to me. I like that one. I had some in my mind, but that wasn't one of them.
They went big, bigger than I could have ever imagined, to be honest with you, because it is something that I couldn't fathom doing this type of numbers and energy, but they're here. Here they are. So they held this game at Clemson, which is Graham's, Graham's University, Memorial Stadium. They call it Death Valley, Mom, is what they call this place. It seats 81,000 fans. For perspective, looking at these playoff games in the NHL and the NBA, those arenas sit about half that, 40,000, maybe 45,000 max. 81,000 fans, largest crowd ever for Banana Ball. Clemson totally embraced it. Thank you, Graham, for embracing this. They ran down the hill, Rip, with Dabo Sweeney, and the band performed. It was on ESPN, ESPN Plus, Disney Channel all picked it up live. YouTube had it live. So the arrival moment is here. It was kind of kicking around this concept of could it work, could it not work? One star recruits got the couple bumps here, got a couple bumps there. Here we go. And then let me remind people too, back to our interview. And if you want to go back and listen to it, it's a wonderful episode. The core foundation of the Savannah Bananas is this is a 501c3 promoting at its core value level still. And if you would attend a game, you'll notice this promoting foster care is the ultimate goal, encouraging people to adopt kids, which is unbelievable for sports entities to still have this foundational value as their bottom line while drawing this type of pop culture relevance. We'll call it, Rip, but it's working, man. The deal is it's working. Why is it working, Rip? That's my question to you. Why is this working at this level?
Well, just to clarify, producer Winston just sent me a quick note. The Savannah Bananas themselves are not a 501c3. That would be crazy because they're raking in tens of millions of dollars, but they do have the sister organization you mentioned, Bananas Foster.
So it's not a Harvard or Church of Scientology situation. Thank you, Rip. That is good information.
The sister organization is a 501c3 that is dedicated to raising awareness in the foster care community. But I think back to your question, the reason this works is because it's entertainment. It's another form of entertainment. Baseball in itself couldn't be kind of a boring game. Let's be honest. I love MLB, but 9 innings, 2.5 hours. It's not all constant activity. So The Bananas, though, I mean, they might break out into song or do a little skit, and I think it draws people in. People that wouldn't sit through a normal baseball game are sitting through the Bananas games, and these guys are entertainers. Social media, they have big followings, and they bring in known people. They bring in MLB players, they bring in celebrities, so that's why it's working.
Everybody could bring their kids with behavior disorders. There's a little something for everybody, right? You got all the bad food for the fat kids. You got all the entertainment for everything. There's probably a grass eating area or dirt throwing area for some other autist out there. They really nailed it, man. You know what I think is key too? Winston might have to clear this up. I don't want to keep doing fake stuff on the pod here. Unprepared a little bit. Rip. More. I'd like to be more prepared for this, but I think tickets started at about $30, if I remember. Could have gone up since inflation. But that's the right price too. I think that's a component of it. The pricing is right and makes sense. You've been to major league ballparks even as recent as this year, LA Dodger Stadium. You're going to Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. That price is right. When you're working in the 200 to 250 a ticket for a family of four, this is way more accessible to get the same experience for the kid, if not better. So I think ticket price plays a large portion of it. Keep going. What is next? Do you start a league? What do you see as the next evolution of Banana Ball?
That's a great question. I mean, they're touring MLB stadiums, maybe a world tour, maybe bring it global. I feel like they might have tested that out a little bit, but maybe the next step is to go on tour all year, like kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters.
You could own the Harlem Globetrotters. Opportunity to splice off into maybe this a league concept. I think the only comp set I have in my head is the movie Basketball by the South Park writers, Rip, of somebody who's actually kind of done that concept. Could have legs though. Just have it in your city. Visiting teams come. The same rules apply. The same stuff. I don't know if you could keep the flare up of the entertainment of it or keep the allure of the magic. That's why Harlem Globetrotters work so much. It's this. It's the allure of the past. I don't even know what I'm saying with that. You could cut that from the pod or keep it in. I don't care, Rip. I lost my train of thought. 1-star bump to the Savannah Bananas. 1-star bump to Graham Neff. Next on my list, congratulations to Jimmer Fredette on retirement and a very quick turnaround to head of the 3-on-3 USA basketball program for the Olympics. He got like one night of sleep, turned around and accepted this new gig. That was set up. That was like Steve Nash coaching the Phoenix Suns. Retire, just give him the coaching job. Just as quick as possible, pass it over to him. But hand clap. Jimmer Fredette, former 1-star BYU Cougar and NBA player, officially retired at the age of 36, Rip, this last week. What's your favorite memory, Jimmer Fredette?
For me in that interview, still amazed to this day. And when your kid turns like 5, you'll realize how crazy this is. I remember Jimmer telling us that he was shooting NBA threes on a 10-foot hoop at the age of 5 and making them, which is like almost unbelievable when you see like my kids are still shooting on like a 7-8 foot hoop, can't even come close to a 3-pointer, and they're older than 5. That is just that's probably a sign back then that guy was going to be really good at basketball.
I think I was 11 until I got it in my legs to even get it close to that rim. Yeah, that's true. That stood out for you, Rip. His new gig's going to be cool too. We're going to have the 2028 Olympics to take a look at this next version of what 3-on-3 basketball looks like. That's going to be in LA. Maybe you can go check it out, Rip, do a little man on the streets for that. We'll have some NBA players. I don't know if we'll start mixing and matching. Winston gave me this. This is just by the numbers, by the raw numbers of if you pulled NBA players by the stats that would fit into a 3-on-3 program for the United States. Julius Randle came up there. He's been playing really good defense, by the way, in this series. But he came up in there for defensive reasons, which is kind of unbelievable. Scotty Barnes, another guy who would fix. He could do it all. Can you see it, Rip? He can kind of do it all. A little bit of height, a little bit of D. Chet Holmgren, my man, could play probably. And then Pablo and Cade would be the last guys that would be on a 3-on-3. Anybody I'm missing you'd love to see on a 3-on-3 roster if you could just throw them on there?
It's really those guys that can operate well in the half court because that's what a lot of that game is, being able to make shots, get past your defender, and play some defense. Maybe I'm throwing a Jose Alvarado out there. Does Puerto Rico have a team, or can we get that guy on the
Yeah, get the
U.S.
internationals going. That's a whole nother world. So check it out in LA. I think we'll see the evolution of this sport in LA. I'd like to see it because I believe it has legs. Definitely, it has the opportunity for a lot of offense, which we love. Which we love. And just real fast, Rip, my favorite Jimmer moment was a G League moment, formerly known as the D League. This was in the D League. He was on the Westchester Knicks, and my man went off for 37 points against the Canton Charge. And he went 12 from 18 from the field. I think he went 6 of 8 from 3 in that game. It was a big Jimmer's back for the G League game. In the G League, if you have one player who used to be a good college player have a good game, the whole league eats off of it. Thank you, Jimmer, for that moment. Raised all ships with that great performance in Westchester. And I got to talk about the G League. 1-star bump for the Thompson brothers. Wonderful 1-star interview. Amin and Nasser. Both guys made the playoffs with their respective teams, the Rockets and the Pistons. Exceeded expectations so far. They hosted in Houston. Rip, when both teams played each other, they actually did they played against each other, which is a parent's dream. That's the dream for parents, get to play together. And then the squads collaborated on a twin night promotion with special bobbleheads and inviting a bunch of twins out to the arena. Just real proud of the 1-star bump of the Thompson brothers, watching them in the playoffs and watching them just play at a high level. Great 1-stars, huge 1-star bump, right? Cannot disagree with that.
Can't disagree with that, and it's cool to see Asar on the Rockets getting to play against the Warriors back near their hometown. My favorite memory from that interview was when you threw out the Nike store in San Leandro, right across the bay, and their eyes lit up. I think that's the beginning of the interview. Always great to start an interview with a relatable moment like that. They were so hyped about that because that's where they grew up, going to that Nike store. So amazing stuff, and those guys have exceeded all expectations already.
If you know, you know. And I worked for 8 years in downtown Oakland, and we played basketball at Club One. And every now and then, somebody forgot a pair of shoes. And if you forgot a pair of shoes and you wanted to still get run in at lunchtime at Club One, there was only one place to go, and it was the San Leandro Outlet Nike store. There it is, Rip. Connection in this world. Really proud of those dudes. They're super fun to watch, both of them. And I'm so excited to see what the future brings, in particular for Amin and the Houston Rockets. You know, seems to be the guy pulling away and might have the opportunity to become one of the better players in the NBA, which is wild. So huge 1-star bump.
Also, to tie it to that Jimmer story growing up, another thing that stood out about the interview is, do you remember when they said that part of the routine was that their dad would make them dribble left-handed for 30 minutes around an oval track before they did any other part of their workout? So opposite hand, offhand, left-handed for 30 minutes every morning. I'm trying to get my kids to dribble basketball around the block with their right hand, and it's difficult to do that. But imagine that, like, again, that's why these guys are NBA players.
His parents get a camera shot at every game. Still fundamentally strong, thinking about the fundamentals. Really good kids. Yeah, good stuff, Rip. Nice. Taken back. I remember those things that you mentioned too are what stick out with me. Maybe like 3 or 4 from a lot of our interviews stick out with me. It's funny that we have some of the same stuff, and happy to hear that you're applying it in your own life, dude. Maybe you'll have maybe you'll have a quarterback on your hands, Rip, because the NFL can sit on a toilet and take a morning deuce and get more viewers than any other sport combined. We just love the NFL more than anything. The draft is another phenomenon. It has me. I must say, I heard Bill Simmons say he would never attend. He couldn't imagine it. I think I feel the same way. It is a certain type of person who will want to attend an NFL draft, especially in Green Bay, Wisconsin, which is where it was. It's hard to get to. It's cold there, but holy shit, was it crowded with people. I felt it myself. The numbers also show it. I don't have them in front of me, Winston, if you can pull them up, though. But I felt the pressure this week of having the opportunity, Rip, to watch really good playoff basketball and playoff hockey. And instead, I'm hooked to the NFL draft. I don't know if you had a similar situation, but I could not get away from it. It kept pulling it back into me. It's a phenomenon in this country, and it's going international. Curious if you just had that pull as well. I know, and we'll talk about Shedeur Sanders in a quick second. I don't want to beat it up because it's really been talked about a lot this week. That was a big part of it. That anticipation of that story carried over, but did it have your attention as well, Rip?
Absolutely. And I remember growing up, and now my kids are doing the same thing. It's just like walking around the house saying, with the fourth pick in the 2025 NFL draft, like that same format of, just pretending, just like you're out on the basketball court and hitting the last second shot, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's just part of childhood. And they've kept it the same for all these years. And so cool to see all those guys' dreams realized at the same time on a few days span there.
Draft's great. It's a new beginning. We talk about it in the past on this show, and it's the NFL, and it keeps getting better and better. Couple quick highlights. Give me 1 to 5 star, Rip. Cam Ward selected #1 overall. Cam Ward, quarterback from the University of Miami. The guy who was not Shedeur Sanders, kind of really the opposite. We have an opposite situation going on here. Off the field, on the field, a little bit similar in athletic ability and playmaking ability, but a great journey for this kid, Cam. Ended up in the right place with the Tennessee Titans. Feel like he has an opportunity to be the guy there in the right way, perhaps, and start over with a new head coach. What do you think, Rip? Cam Ward, 1 to 5 stars.
I say 4 stars, and the really cool thing I kept seeing is the headline that he was a 0-star recruit at one point. I think coming out of high school, he ended up at a university called Incarnate Word to play football, and just going from that to the #1 pick in the NFL draft is pretty amazing. But like all quarterbacks in the first round, like you can't judge this one for a few years now. I mean, Bryce Young, the jury's still out. We'll see. But Cam Ward, let's talk in 3 years and see where he's at.
I like it. I think he likes it. And I feel like the Tennessee Titans also would agree with everything you just said, which feels very healthy. What feels not so healthy in a variety of ways. Curious to get your take on it, though. Shedeur Sanders falls to the 5th round. Sanders, mom, Sanders. I don't even know how to tell my mother this. Highly rated as a quarterback 2 prospect, maybe, Rip, projected by many to go in the 1st round. Surprisingly, he fell all the way to the 5th round, where he was picked by the Cleveland Browns, one of the most horrendous places to land in all of the sports, especially the NFL. Unexpected drop really was the biggest surprise of the 3 days. Dylan Gabriel, another quarterback, got selected before him. Jury's out on all the reasons why this happened. I know why it stole our hearts, because of it's Deion's son and because the media found something to roll with and it snowballed out of control. Rip, 1 to 5 stars. Shedeur Sanders to the Browns.
5 stars for entertainment, because I mean the whole entire draft, that's all the talk was about, and I think a lot of teams probably passed on him multiple times because of the Deion factor. Deion's so prevalent and so involved, and just such a big name and personality that I think it probably affected his draft status a little bit. So again, like, let's see where he's at in 3 years. I mean, the guy deserves a chance just as much as anyone. He might fail, he might win, but let's see how it plays out.
It's great entertainment. Take note if you want attention. It's great entertainment. Jaguars trade up for Travis Hunter. 2 things stood out to me. Travis Hunter is a fun guy, great athlete. I'm really excited to watch him play next year, especially with this team. I think they're going to let this team fly a little bit. Cringy, young GM. They got a young general manager doing some just interesting talk and movements that, hey, could work out, though. 1 to 5 stars, Rip. Jacksonville Jags trading up for Travis Hunter.
I can see where you think that guy's cringy, because it felt the same way with Jonathan Gannon, the Cardinals coach, when he was coming in, just kind of socially awkward, maybe a little bit. But that guy's worked out well for the Cardinals. He's building a great defense down there. And I think that Jaguars guy may be cringy, but that press conference where he said those things about Travis Hunter, the kind of things you don't hear someone say, and it kind of explained why he was willing to kind of mortgage the next couple years draft to get a talent like that. Like, he's a great personality, Travis Hunter. He instills belief in a franchise. So they have to have it work out. He just got hired. He's 34 years old, which is unbelievable. And he's putting his entire career and reputation on the line with basically 1 pick.
All right, Rip. Look at zigging a little bit. I like that. I like that zag move right there, Rip. Red flag, red flag, red flag. his girlfriend, C, Bill Belichick. You just don't want that coming around your program. So North Carolina, Jacksonville, you guys are close, same part of the country. Be careful, gentlemen. We've all seen crazy ladies before. We don't want to mix crazy ladies with the programs. Let's keep it all separate. They're probably doing things to you nobody's ever done before in your life. So just keep it separate over there. My favorite moment of the draft that stood out for me, and this just made me smile every single time. New favorite player, possible alert for me, Maxwell Harrison, the Kentucky cornerback rip. He was selected 30th by the Buffalo Bills. He was dapping up every single player with more love than I've ever seen. Every player got the best energy going to the stage from this guy. I don't know if he knew them all or if he was just hitting them with it, but he was the happiest human being, selected or not. He didn't go to even the 30th. He didn't care. Maxwell Harrison, just an amazing human being. My favorite part of the draft. Arizona Cardinals. You talked about it quickly, and then we'll get out of here. We'll get out of the draft. A lot of experts, Rip, giving them an A. We went defense. Walter Johnson, Will Johnson, Jordan Birch. These are all defensive guys, Mom. Cody Simon, linebacker. Burke on the back end, a cornerback. And then finally, we grabbed a big boy at guard. Rip, this is exactly what the Cardinals have needed for a long time, and we didn't waste anything. And we're getting good feedback here. It's not sexy. Doesn't feel like the Cleveland Browns situation where a lot of who knows. But this is Jonathan Gannon's background. This is his stamp. And that late selection of Hayden Carter, shows that we can still really get value at pick 6 too. We're not taking stupid chances to sell tickets. It feels to me, Rip. What's your grade for the Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah, I'm right there with an A also. I think it instilled a little belief in the front office for me. This one, they picked proven winners from big schools like Ohio State, Michigan, Texas, the first round pick from Ole Miss and the SEC, like guys that have won a lot of games and started a lot of games for those schools, a lot of big games. I don't think you can go wrong with. Even sometimes the measurables might not be there, like they might not have had flashy combines, but a lot of those guys they picked are real winners. So hopefully it translates over to the NFL.
Let's go. NBA, just one quick hit question. We're 2 weeks into the playoffs. There's been some shit games, and then there's been some amazing games. Buzzer beaters galore. Good defense being played. Give me one big prediction that you have going into the rest of this season for the playoffs. Your boldest prediction after watching the first 2 weeks.
I think it's going to be the Timberwolves, at least in the Western Conference Finals, if not the NBA Finals. You saw that run last year. They made it all the way to the Western Finals, almost to the NBA Finals, and they made that big trade. They got rid of Karl-Anthony Towns, got Julius Randle in there, and Dante DiVincenzo has been a huge factor. I think that it was the right trade. Anthony Edwards is a bona fide superstar, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on the T-Wolves right now.
I can see it happening. The defense is very intense there, and they seem to care more than I've ever seen them care in Minnesota. Great take, Rip. My prediction's got to be that the Cavs, the Cleveland Cavaliers, back to the city of Cleveland after this terrible draft pick situation or great situation. Who knows? What I do know for sure is that this offense is fucking dominant. And I feel like the Cavaliers are the biggest threat to win an NBA championship. In fact, here we go. The Cavaliers will reach the NBA Finals. They'll upset the Boston Celtics, and they'll play against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they will beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is the year for the Cleveland Cavaliers to win the NBA championship, and the NBA Finals MVP will go to a guy named Ty Jerome. Mark it. Mark the tape, NBA. It's been good and it's been bad. A lot of the reasons for why this play-in shit shouldn't be there. The Memphis Grizzlies should not have played at all. They shouldn't have been there. And the Miami Heat shouldn't have played at all. You can't get beat by 60 and be in the fucking playoffs. Get out of here. The rest has been pretty good though. Most intriguing series so far was happening in your backyard in LA with Denver and the Clippers. The Clippers, their time has come. This is their time versus Denver, who's trying everything in their power to hang on. And one guy is doing the heavy lifting in Denver. We all know who that is, the Joker. So really good stuff. If you have an opportunity, Rip, you should try to take your kiddos out to one playoff game at the end to it. It looks amazing.
Yeah, that wall is pretty cool, and all I keep hearing is how loud it is in that arena. I got to get out there. Maybe not for the playoffs. Maybe preseason is more
Maybe a
my
regular, yeah,
speed.
you're a value guy, but it's very good, very well done. Compared to Chase Center and some other buildings on the West Coast, very well done. It looks fun. Looks like it's fucking rocking in there, and it's like a party. One star moments of the week. We all got them. One stars talk about them. They happen to the best of us. Rip, go ahead. What's your one star moment, my friend?
I've had a crazy week. I honestly like had 5 minutes to think about these and couldn't come up with anything good. So I'm gonna flip it and just go someone else's one-star moment of the week is that Shadur Sanders prank call. We didn't talk about it during our Shadur segment, but really the one-star moment is actually not for Shadur. It's for the defensive coordinator of the Falcons. His son, I think his name is Jax Ulbrich, was the one that kind of stole Shadur's number, and everyone's seen the clip at this point, but just a one-star move, man. Come on, you gotta that's the thing he's gonna be famous for the rest of his life is doing a prank call that was just in really poor taste. Just a one-star moment from that guy. I mean, we all do dumb things when we're young, and he went viral and all that, but just looks like a total dick in front of the whole world.
A lot of media around that one, and it actually has happened to five or six other players. Some players, Rip, got five or six prank calls from different numbers throughout the process as well. So this is a bigger problem. This one bad because of the situation. So I'm glad that the window was open. We're shining some light on this. I mean, it seems like simple solutions around that. I'm not a tech guy, but
I
seems like
do.
we could figure that one out a little bit more.
I do like prank calls. Like prank calls are fun and just classic moments. But like
He's
to
zagging. He's
but
zagging
like
again.
to kick someone when they're down and like in a moment like that to fuck with them is kind of messed up. I think prank calls should be saved for just like messing with a hostess at a hotel or a restaurant on the phone and just asking dumb questions. But to really get someone when they're falling in the draft like that is just an asshole move.
It really is. Well, you can kick me when I'm down if you want a little bit. My one star moment of the week, I want to do an apology. I want to apologize to USA Basketball and the PR folks over at USA Basketball for a miscommunication that I had a couple weeks back. I told the one star story on the podcast last week at how I was very confused at media day, at the media entry, sorry, at the media entry for to attend the Nike Hoop Summit. And I ended up mixing in with a group of NBA executives that I just fell out of place with, but I followed their lead, acted as if, and I group led myself into the Moda Center. I did not have pick up my official credential. And I know I caused some displacement of others and some nerves for some folks in the PR team. It was not my best media event I've done. In fact, it might have been my worst media event. It was one star. The cold hard truth of it for me is I'm very, very uncomfortable in those situations. I have a lot of imposter syndrome, Rip, and it gets exposed, like putting the light on it, like I just said, when I'm at those types of events. And I felt it at this one big time. And I just didn't act like a five-star situation. I could have waited it out and figured it out a little bit better. And that led to me being real passive, being there too, and just wanted to get in and out as quick as I can. So with that said, one star moment goes to me for my last media event, and I apologize to the folks at USA Basketball.
Hey, that's why we're one stars. Everybody knows it. You had the hoodie on, so I think nobody probably cared too much when they see you with a one star recruits hoodie. They already know DK.
They know who's coming, but lesson learned. So that's life. You grow and get better. We're here to talk about it. One star moments of the week, though. Flip the energy. I'll keep the mic because I have it here. Saltwater fucking taffy. Switching it very directly. Nobody could have predicted this switch. This is a curveball. You were expecting a slider. SWT, it's the underdog candy. And I haven't mentioned this before, and I've thought about it a lot of times, maybe 40 or 50 times over the past 5 years. I fell in love with SWT when I moved to Santa Cruz, California, right there at the boardwalk. They made it fresh. I never really had anything like that. And it was game changing for me. And so since then, I've been trying different SWT all over. I tried it at Buc-ee's. I usually get it when I see it go on sale at Safeway, which there you go, value guy, savvy value guy move if you like SWT. And I want people to think of SWT saltwater taffy as like the ultimate utility player of the candy world. It's a tofu. It's essentially the tofu of sweets. It's able to take on any flavor while keeping a 5-star chew that lasts just enough. It's not like Bubblicious or gum. It's not like a quick chocolate that it has just enough chew, about 9 to 11 chews on average, which is perfect for me. And I like them a little bit older. Leave them out a little bit. I like SWTs like wine, left out a little bit so they have even more of a chew. So SWTs, they're really great. I just want a couple flavors and then we'll get out of here though. The tofu concept, hot chocolate taffy. It's a fucking slam dunk of a taffy. If you love chocolate, this gives you like the full flavor without the whole hot chocolate experience. I'm literally I close my eyes and I think, oh, that's hot chocolate. Everything hot chocolate without the mess or the stuff of a hot chocolate. Red Vine SWT. You don't even need red vines anymore. It's the full fucking experience and tastes just like a red vine. MVP flavor, the best flavor for me, watermelon. It's just, it slaps. I mentioned that Bubblicious gum. It's one of the best gums in the world. Just stretch that for about 6 more chews, the right amount of flavor, and you only need 1 or 2 SWTs. This isn't a whole bag situation. Nobody's eating a whole bag of SWTs. You have 1 or 2, and you're done with them. So I challenge all you haters, because I know you probably are, Rip, fucking SWT hater. There's a lot of you out there. Give it another shot. Creamsicle, blue raspberry lemonade. These are great flavors. Banana. Banana is a fucking, if you like Laffy Taffy when you were a child, try a banana SWT. It's way better. So there you go. Wreck of the week.
I'm actually on board. I like it fresh. Like you said, you purchased it right from the boardwalk there. That was probably made like that morning. Very soft.
They pull it out that morning. Get a caramel swirl that morning or a birthday cake. Who knows what they're making?
Yeah, I'm on board, man. I didn't know they had all those specific exotic flavors like red vine and hot chocolate. But yeah, I'm in, man. I'm all in. I have some in my cabinet right now, but it's probably like 6 months old. So
that's how I like it. Age 6 to 8 months. Rip, you should give it a go.
I'll FedEx it to you.
Do a video for our Instagram of you doing. Can you do a review of SWT just to confirm that I'm not bullshitting? Just pick a random flavor.
I'll get it going. You called me a creator before. I got to create something here.
Yeah, you are. So there you go, man. Hopefully we could change some minds out here. It's the tofu of candies. What do you got?
Again, like 5 minutes to prepare. I didn't come up with a rec of the week, but I'm gonna flip it a little bit because I actually need a rec. I like to involve the listeners. We all know that get some engagement going, but Mother's Day, I think, is like 12 days away, DK. By the way, you need to get something for your wife because she literally is a mother right now. She's carrying a baby inside of her. So do not forget, add it to your calendar. You got to get a gift for her for this Mother's Day, even though the baby is not out yet. You still got to get a gift. So, but my wife is asking for headphones for Mother's Day, and I'm out of the game. For me, it's still Beats by Dre, but that could have been like 20 years ago. So I need some tips. And these are like headphones for working out, right? So I need some tips from listeners. What are the best headphones? I need everyone to speak up because if it was to me, I'd buy Beats by Dre off Amazon.
Those are done, Rip. Those are not cool anymore.
So help me out with the rec. DK, listeners, anybody, help me out. I'm all ears.
I don't have a good one. I've gone to the Apple earbuds. Now I've gone back to I'm the guy now walking my dogs in my neighborhood with the full headphones like this, not these, but different ones on my ears because the earbuds hurt my ears.
That's what I'm saying. The full headphones are the Beats by Dre, the traditional ones. Is there a better brand now? What's going on?
I think so. I think they've gotten way better, and there's better stuff out there. I don't have the answer though. I like that. Outsource it. That's a great one. I need to get a good Mother's Day gift too. I've been making meals. I've been using food because pregnant ladies like food, but it's probably time I go back into the material world and find something. Rip, good one. Hit the music, brother. Rips reacts. So George Kittle went from chugging beers at WrestleMania to becoming the highest paid tight end in NFL history with a $76.4 million extension. Honest take, Rip, for our Bay Area people. Is George Kittle currently the ultimate tight end, or has his talent hit a ceiling? Is this the beginning of the end for George?
It's probably the beginning of the end, but whatever they paid him is worth it because he's like the glue guy for the Niners. He's near and dear to the hearts of all those fans up there. If he would have walked away with the amount of players the Niners lost this season, they would have lost a lot of fans. I think George Kittle, number one fan favorite up there in SF.
I wish him the best. Brock Bowers, though, I see the future. I see it coming. A list recently came out with the 10 most hated sports teams in all of sports. You have one chance, Rip, to nail this list. One chance and one chance only. I will tell you that number 10 is Manchester United and number 1 is the Los Angeles Dodgers. Go ahead, fill in the blank.
Yankees, Cowboys, Steelers.
Nope. Already messed up. One chance is gone. 10, Manchester United. 9, Los Angeles Lakers. 8, Duke Blue Devils. 7, the Alabama Crimson Tide. 6, surpriser, Houston Astros. 5, Boston Celtics. 4, Dallas Cowboys. 3, Kansas City Chiefs. 2, New York Yankees. Number 1 most hated sports teams in all of sports, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Rip.
Basically, it's basically also the top 10 most liked. It's just the opposite of just, it's the same 10 teams on both lists.
As is life, Rip. Oh, you're a philosopher now all of a sudden. That is terrific philosophy. You can think about that one for hours, listeners. If you're Brandon Beane of the Buffalo Bills, you're how can I even phrase this question? If you're the GM of the Buffalo Bills and you led the league with scoring without Stephon Diggs, Rip, you had an A- draft day grade. You didn't pick up a wide receiver. Now the wide receiver crowd is in your face. The media is in your face. Is it time to call Christian Kirk? Is it time for a 1-star bump?
100%. I think it is. Our guy Christian Kirk is kind of like that little glue slot guy that can also go deep. He'd be a perfect fit up there in Buffalo for Josh Allen. You got Josh Allen throwing Christian Kirk the ball. That sounds like a 1,000-yard season to me.
Any other free agents that could fill that spot?
Stevie Johnson, bring him back. He's not retired yet. Stevie Johnson, Mr. Buffalo Bill.
1-star bumps all over the place. A great episode. Listen back to that one. Wow, one wonderful guy, Stevie Johnson. Probably could still catch some balls, but he's not the answer. I think a lot of pressure on young Keon to be successful there in Buffalo. We will see. Tipping's completely out of control. Rip, let's recenter our expectations here in 2025. Let's finish this off here. Tell me if Rip in life is tipping at these places, yes or no, because unfortunately they're getting me, bro. I'm pussy. They're getting me. Coffee shops, even on to-go orders, Rip. They're flipping the screen. Coffee shops.
Absolutely not.
Self-checkout machines. Grocery store self-checkout machines are now asking for tips because it's offsetting pricing.
No way in hell.
Pick your own farms. Small family farms. Pick your own farms. Strawberry farms. Apple farms.
Zero chance.
What an asshole. Oil change. Oil change.
No way, Jose.
Even with great service and maybe a car wash you didn't expect. Nothing. Your people. I'm seeing them at fast food drive-ins. Rip, Chipotle, Five Guys, Mod Pizza.
I'm a child of the 90s. Only people getting tips from me are waiters and possibly delivery drivers.
Holy shit, I can't even get one out of you. Farmers markets, maybe? Those are small vendors, Rip.
No way, bro. They just jack their prices up and include the tip in the price.
Pet groomers. Come on, pet groomers. Give me one.
All right, close it out on a good note. I tip my pet groomer $10 to $15 every time. She does a great job. Michelle, shout out Michelle at Pet Supplies Plus.
He's not a monster. He's not a monster, listeners. Last one. Turns out sex is good for happiness. I have a list here, a table here supplied by Winston that shows the average happiness levels associated with various common activities. All right, Rip. So here we go. I'm going to list off the top 10 on this list. You just say yes or no in the past month if you participated. We're just going to determine if you're happy or not, okay? Intimacy, making love. Have you made love in the last month?
Yes, sir.
Check. Theater, dance, or concert?
Yep.
Dude, exhibition, museum, or library?
Library, check.
Sports, running, exercise?
100%.
Gardening. Have you had an allotment for gardening?
Multiple times. Bought some mulch last week.
Has there been any singing or performing?
Oh, check that one. Nope, negative.
Negative so far, but extremely happy. 2 more. Talking, chatting, and socializing.
1000%.
Nature watching, bird watching.
I just saw a hummingbird yesterday.
Congratulations, Rip. You're one of the happiest humans out there in the world, bro. So, listeners, enjoy. Get out there. Guess what's at the bottom of the list, just if you're curious? Sick in bed. So it starts with being in bed, making love. The bottom of unhappiness ends with being back in bed. Our beds play the best in the worst moments. Philosophy, 1-star recruits. Give us 5 stars on the app you're listening to right now if you just like philosophy, or if you want Rip to make more love, or if you want him to do an SWT review. We need attention. Just kidding. We don't, but we really love you. 1 stars, thank you so much. We'll be back next week.
See you next week.